Hi, this is David with EV World News. We talk about electric vehicles, green energy, and the stock markets. Today, we're trying out some new streaming software, and I hope you enjoy it. It's a different look, and please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the new software, the new background, um, and how that's going. Okay. Anyways, start today's topic. We're going to be talking a little bit about electric aviation. This is something we haven't really spoken about much in the past, but because when you think about electric cars, you think about electric cars are heavier than normal cars because of the way the battery, stuff like that. So you think about this with planes, but the usage of these aircraft typically are less than 100 to 200-mile trips. A lot of these are being used as air taxis, different things where they're using a whole lot less energy than using jet fuel or different things that it takes normally in the aviation industry. I'm going to start out here by sharing here. There we go. So for start with, we're going to talk about Archer Aviation. So Archer Aviation makes electric vehicle takeoff and land, vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. Archer is currently focused on infrastructure on the one hand and setting the stage for large-scale production on the other. Midnight Air Taxi is getting ready to start operating in some of the most congested cities in the U.S. Now, let's take a look at these pictures here, see what we got. So here's a concept of a run or of a facility for them. You'd park here, go in here, and then catch your flight here. Now, these aircraft that are pictured, they have one pilot and four passengers. Show what these look like. And the U.S. Marines use a um, ice-powered version of this called the Osprey. Similar aircraft. It's not made by this company. They're just saying similar type aircraft. But these have about 12 propellers going up. And let's see. So they're designed to compete in an area where you would probably use helicopters. Anyways, Archer isn't playing small. They're about to kick off commercial operations in Los Angeles and New York metropolitan areas. They've also announced plans to do this in Dubai. And they're going to use existing locations of established operators as launching pads for air taxi services by installing dedicated charging systems. This will speed up things tremendously instead of having to build their own vertiports from scratch. Now, they've combined doing some work with a company called Beta Technologies, which does have its own aircraft, which is called the Alea. And let's see, but Beta has its own chargers. They're interoperable rapid charging units based on the CCS system. Now, the Beta Tech is a reputable pioneer when it comes to air taxi charging. They launched the first charging station for electric air taxis in Massachusetts, and the first one ever installed at an Air Force base. 50 charging stations are currently in the process of being installed across the US, and by 2025, they hope to have 150 charging sites. So there'll be a lot of places where these type of aircraft can be charged up. Let's see. Now, Archer is the only one officially backed by automotive giant Stellantis. Archer officially introduced the Midnight aircraft that will be commercially produced in collaboration with Stellantis. Midnight also enjoyed tremendous success in the market with an impressive pre-order from United Airlines. The Air Taxi is a five-seater aiming to replace typical one-hour commutes with zero-emission flights that are 3 times shorter, noise-free, and cost-effective. Now, Archer and Atlantic Aviation are working together in some of these locations as well. Um, so Atlantic Aviation is a fixed base operator network and aviation services provider, and they're looking to develop electric aircraft infrastructure. Let's see here. The goal is to replace 60-minute car commutes with quick and efficient 10 to 20-minute electric air taxi flights. Yeah, we're starting to enter the world of flying cars, essentially. Although we've really always had them because we've had helicopters. This is set to materialize with the launch of services across initial locations in 2025. Now, this one's kind of interesting. This is an unmanned aerial um, It's not really a UAV. They call it, I guess it is a UAV that's been circling the globe. This set a world endurance record for in flight. Now, the Zephyr is a stratospheric UAV. It flies at 70,000 feet on ultra long endurance missions. It's solar powered, so it has batteries and observation and communications platform. Let's see, it has a wingspan of 82 feet, but only weighs 165 pounds, including 53 pounds of batteries. It's remarkably light for its size. It's fully electric with a pair of efficient motors driving two propellers out along the wings. It's pretty much always flying in the daylight. The way it's designed, it flies above the clouds, and the wings are coated in gallium arsenide solar cells. The sun shines on these panels all day, designed to fly well above the clouds and other conventional aircraft. A sweet spot of 70,000 feet. It set a new altitude record for unmanned aerial systems, reaching 76,100 feet over Arizona. Originally built by a company called Quinetti Q and now owned by Airbus, it's been setting records for more than a decade. It's designed to fly autonomously for as long as you need it to. It doesn't advertise an endurance limit, simply saying it can fly continuously for months at a time. It's more like a geostationary satellite, but at a much lower cost. It can surveil a 20 by 30 kilometer slice of ground with all sorts of instruments or provide telecommunications coverage to 250 cell phone towers, depending on what payload it's carrying. Pretty cool looking to see that. Its previous endurance record was set in 2018 at just 3 minutes short of 26 days without refueling, but it has now obliterated that mark. It's reached 36 days aloft and it's still flying. It's pretty interesting. According to the U.S. Army, the Zephyr test also knocked off a number of firsts, including its first flight into international airspace, first flight over water, longest continuous flight utilizing satellite communication controls, and farthest demonstration from its launch point. Now, let's see what we got here. The U.S. Air Force is going to start flying electric aircraft next year. Now, this is for 2024. Some of this is Joby Aviation air taxis are being delivered to Edwards Air Force Base here in 2024. Now, the Joby's about the same size as the ones from Archer. They're one pilot, four passengers, but they're kind of replacing helicopters. Let's see here. Now, lastly for today, we're going to talk about um, three electric vehicle stocks. Now, this is coming to us from Motley Fool, and they think that Rivian, which has kind of been in the dumps, has this lofty $35 price target. They're somewhere under 20 bucks right now. I think, current price is 1647. So they're saying it's going to go up by 122% from where it's at now in 2024. Now, Rivian, while it has its impressive luxury pickup truck, the R1T and the R1S SUV, which does like 835 horsepower, pretty crazy for an SUV, but it's really best known for the fact that it makes commercial vans for Amazon. Amazon owns about 16% of Rivian, and so I don't think there's any real downside risk to owning Rivian because of that factor. They have a contract to deliver 100,000 commercial delivery vans by 2030. It's important to note that Rivian has ended its exclusivity agreement, so now they can also sell electric vans to other companies. So that's something new for 2024. They have a clear path to a sizable luxury EV market with the R1T. Legacy automakers predominantly focus on duplicating the success of their gas and diesel. The R1D provides the ability to go off-road, but with a more refined appeal. Rivian produced 57,000 EVs in 2023s. That's all RVs, and that's surpassed the company's 1 year full year guidance by more than 3,000 vehicles. It seems like it's finding traction with consumers, but the company's losing money. So it's interesting to see their operating loss is about for a quarter is somewhere between 1.3 and 1.8 billion dollars. So they're still losing like 6 billion a year, but they have 9 billion in cash. So, and they're backed up by Amazon. Now, the next one is Lucid. The Lucid's also burning cash, but they're mostly owned by the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. So they have them in their back pocket, and they're about to start producing Lucid automobiles in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which will be the first auto manufacturer in Saudi Arabia. Now, what they're trying to bring for EV buyers is differentiation. Tesla primarily focuses its production on the more affordable Model 3 and the Model Y SUVs. The Lucid is targeting luxury EV sedans, which I don't think was the best choice for them. The Lucid Air starts at about 75,000 to as much as a quarter million. And the more expensive ones have a range of like 512 miles. So it really has long range, big batteries. They're very elegant vehicles. Now, the thing is we're introducing an SUV called the Lucid Gravity, and that's going to be a little bit cheaper, targeted a little bit at the success of the Tesla Model Y. The biggest red flag with Lucid is continually missed on the production front. The company produced fewer than 7,200 EVs in 2022. In 2023, they looked at about 12,000, or was originally what they thought they were going to make, but they reduced it to 8,000 to 8,500 to line up with deliveries. Inventory levels are rising. Demand for luxury EVs is weaker than anticipated. Lucid's cash pile is shrinking. But once again, like I was saying, they are propped up by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and with them going to be the first auto manufacturer in Saudi Arabia, I just don't see them letting it fail. The third one is Chinese EV maker NIO. Now, this one, it currently is trading at $6.10, but some security companies have set a price target of $15 on it by December, implied upside of 139%. Now, a prominent catalyst was the lifting of the zero COVID mitigation strategy in December 22. After 3 years of unpredictable lockdowns and seemingly endless supply chain constraints, a return to some semblance of normal has brought consumers back into showrooms and helped alleviate some of the supply chain kinks that kept NIO's production back. In 2023, NIO delivered 160,000 EVs, which is a 31% improvement from the previous year. That's pretty interesting to see when we're talking about, Lucid delivering, 8,000, and they're delivering 160,000. But these are much cheaper automobiles. So, anyways, that's something to think about. And that is all the news we're going to cover for today. Like I said, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the new streaming software. Please like on this video so more people will see it. And until tomorrow, have a great day.